Hey everyone, due to some scheduling things that are going to be happening this week and next week, and because of our ice storm, I might not get a chance to introduce our project, our lifespan project, to you in person. So if that's the case, I wanted you to at least hear me talk it out. What you're going to want to do is you're going to go to our Unit 6 folder and you're going to look for something that says Lifespan Project. Right now I have it unpublished because I don't want you to do it too soon and I'm filming this a couple days in advance. But you're going to have access to this and you're going to open it up. You'll see the rubrics right there. We'll get to that in a second. The description document is attached. There's an example attached and a template attached, but you can also use your own presentation method if you want. So let's take a look. If I open up the description, which I actually already have here, this will get into it, which you can read, and we'll look at it in a second. But I also have an example linked, and I want to start there because I think the description will make more sense if you've seen an example first. Okay, so you are going to make slides that represent all 5 of our major theories in lectures 3 and 4. So Piaget's theory, Erikson, Kohlberg, Baumrind, and Ainsworth. Okay, and you have to have at least one of each. Again, I'll get into the criteria in a minute, but what you'll be doing is you will be using a picture or a video, either that you created or that you found. And in the picture or video, you are going to explain how it demonstrates the stage by the psychologist that named this stage. So I have a picture here. Oh, and you're going to give me a caption about what it is I'm looking at. So in this first slide, these are my niece and nephew, Winnie and Jackson, and here is just the description of what's happening. After getting a dog onesie from her favorite aunt and uncle, that's me in this case, Winnie, when she was 4, pretends to be Jackson, who is 5, Jackson's puppy. Why do I include the ages? Because these are the ages that a child would be to fit into the pre-operational stage by Piaget. And then the video itself, oh, here we go. You can see that they're playing pretend. It's a short video, really, really short. And what I say here is I actually explain how the stage fits what I just saw. Winnie and Jackson are in full pretend play mode. Imagination is a characteristic of the pre-operational stage, which the 2 children are demonstrating as Jackson pretends to give his puppy commands and she acts them out. Okay, so that's Piaget's pre-operational stage. Then I go through, this one is just a picture of my brother. And here it's the pre-conventional moral stage by Kohlberg. Little caption of what I'm looking for and why this picture fits this stage. And then I do another one for Erikson. This is me when I was a senior in high school, and how I was struggling with identity and role confusion. My age is very, very relevant to this stage, so I again included that here. One again by Piaget. Is that an accident? I feel like I'm missing somebody here. I'll get to my description, but I messed that up. It should be, there's 5 different theorists. Ainsworth. Oh, poop. I don't have an Ainsworth. I have a second Piaget. Oops. Okay. You're going to make sure you have all the different ones. So here, this is my parents. This one isn't even me, but this is my parents when they were in 1973, when they were fairly newly married, I think. Not really sure. Anyways, again, here's the stage, the psychologist, a caption, and how this picture represents the stage. Okay. Oh, and then we got parenting style, Baumrind. These are my grandparents, myself and my brother. Caption, description of how this picture represents this style of parenting. All right, now let's get to the project description. I'm going to have you can read this on your own, but I want to focus your attention to the task description. What it says, apply your life or that of someone you know well to different developmental stages that span an entire life expectancy, from birth to the end of life at an old age. I know not all people live to an old age, but for our project, we're all going to. The concepts you choose to demonstrate should include at least one stage conflict style from each of these developmental theorists that I'll list in a second. That would apply at various ages or stages of life. So all of the different phases of life, including all of the different, at least one, minimum of one each of these theories and the people they're associated with. Okay. I feel like the more I try to simplify this, the more confusing it gets. You're going to include at least one example of a Piaget stage, Kohlberg's stages, Erikson's psychosocial development inner conflicts, Bauman's parenting styles, or a parenting label according to Ainsworth's attachment study. I have the different lectures that these would come from. So if you have not watched and taken notes from lecture 3 or 4, you're going to need to do that before you can move forward on this project. The product should be, you can use a template. It's set to force you to make a copy of it so we don't mess it up for future other students. You'll have a title slide. This one you can delete, but it's just some tips on how to make fancy things with Google Slides, although you guys are pretty good at that. And then each slide will have the stage name here, and the theorist that goes with it, an explanation of the behavior we're seeing in the picture or video, or any other evidence that you think you need to include that demonstrates your or whoever the subject is being in this particular stage. You'll put in the photo or video. I've got some tips on how to do that right here. And then you'll include a caption. So again, each slide must include the stage, the age of the subject being analyzed, an image or video. Let me switch that to or. And a caption to go with it, an explanation of how that image or video demonstrates behaviors of that particular stage with reference to the correct theorist. And how many of these do you need to do? If you decide to do this project by yourself, the individual slide count only needs to be 5, one of each. If you decide to do this as a group, you're going to do a minimum of 3 slides each, ranging from 12 to 18 slides, depending on how big your group is. If you have a big group, like 6 people, you might even want to divide into 3 and 3, because getting 18 stages, 18 of these, it's not impossible, but that's a little, that might be challenging, okay? Each slide must be personal and unique to you or a group member. I'm going to make a little exception to this. If you absolutely cannot come up with examples from your own life or from someone you know really well, like your grandparents or your parents or something like that, you can include fictional people, fictional characters, like movie, book characters, that sort of thing. I've seen this project done well for people who just didn't want to get that personal, and so they did an entire slideshow involving the characters of Harry Potter. I'd like that to be a last resort. I prefer it to be about you. Remember, self-referencing effect. It will help you understand these stages better if you can make it about you. But if necessary, we can go fictional. Turn in a presentation. You will submit on Schoology. You will present in class. I'm going to do a hard maybe on that. Given some of our schedule disruptions, we'll see if we have time for that. So I don't know. Rough draft due date, February 28th if you're in the B-Day class, March 1st if you're in the A-Day class. I'm calling this a rough draft, but I want it almost perfectly done by those dates. The reason it's a rough draft and not a hard due date is I want you to have some time to connect with me, to ask questions, or potentially get feedback, especially since I'm launching this project when I might not actually be in class, okay? Or maybe you're gone and I sent you this video because you were gone. The rubric is here, but the rubric is also in Schoology. You can see you will get points for the images themselves being of high quality, the captions being clear, the headings being clear, all the theories being covered, and then the explanation and evidence. This is really the look at the point value. This is where the bulk, this is where the most important part is. And the explanations demonstrate that you understand the stage and that you can really apply it. Think like FRQ style, really, and you can apply it to the theories. Okay, that's it. I don't want this to get too long. Sorry, I'm launching a project through a video instead of in person, but I figure it's better than just saying, hey, read the description. Good luck. So, of course, email me with any questions, comments, or concerns.